What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Warehouse Series and welcome to another Discord Friday. If you guys are new, thank you for being here. I am going to touch on a subject that I was talking about on Monday's video. If you did not see Monday's video, please go watch that. If you guys can subscribe to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, man. If you're a new selector, new in the warehouse, you are in the right place, and you also need to join that Discord. That's free. So please do all that, guys. Give me a thumbs up, leave comments. Guys, check out my eBay store. I got a lot of nice quality items over there, a lot of brand new stuff that got tags hanging off of it, and you're going to get it for a fraction of the cost. All my clothing over there is really nice condition, if not excellent condition or like new condition, and you're going to buy for a fraction of the cost. So please go check out my eBay store. Great Christmas items over there. Let's get on to today's video. All right, guys, so the first thing I want to do is I want to revisit my video from Monday. Now, I put this up here as a reference. This was a video or a picture that we used on Monday's video. If you are a new selector, new to my channel, and you don't know what a back under is, I wanted a visual. Now, right here, we have 24 oils. So this person came up to this slot, it said pick 24. And instead of throwing all 24 oils, they backed under it to save that time. You're going to be throwing it no matter what. It's coming from this pallet to your pallet, so why not back under it and save time, correct? So I had two people chime in on the comment section and on Discord saying that they are not allowed to back under their product because the owls are too narrow for the jack. And when people are backing under this product, they're focusing it on the product and not the other side of the aisle. And so when they're swinging out, they're slamming their hand off the racking. And a couple people lost fingertips doing this. I 1000% agree with this. That you should not be backing under stuff in narrow aisles. I should have clarified a little bit more on Monday. That's why I'm revisiting this. I reached out to this person that got written up for this, and I asked, why did you get written up for backing under your product? What was management's reasoning? Stealing time. That's why I addressed Monday's video the way I addressed it, okay? Because that is not stealing time. That is just stupid management. Why? I don't care if you're making a little bit of extra, 2 minutes on this, because you're throwing faster. That means I'm going to get my product out the door faster. You have to throw all 24. It's going to take you an extra couple minutes to do it. I want you going as fast as possible. And if you could do a back under nice and safe, then so be it. But for stealing time, that's a horrible reasoning behind it. All right, so now I want to get onto the topic of today's video, and that is common mistakes that are keeping you behind and slowing you down. And guys, when you build wider than the pallet, I promise you it is slowing you down dramatically because you're finessing that jack and you're trying to keep it from shaking. And, even though this pallet looks so nice and so sturdy, I don't think it's that sturdy. This back corner is something definitely that could fall over. Now, if we're separating these to wrap these and we're pulling this one out and pulling it forward, you got to be really careful this back corner is not going to fall over. So even though the pallet looks good, and this is why I hate slip sheets, because look, we got these open box tops. We got a weak slip sheet here. This isn't a thick one. This is one of the small paper ones. And we got cases that are like down inside the gap. So when you have an open box top like this, now there's wrap on there, but it still sinks in. You're going to get more of that dip down. So right here behind my line, I just want to get right to it, guys. Look, we started right away. And we got gaps in between these cases. If you snug all these cases together, we're on our pallet all the way. This V8 is actually a little bit, just a hair, but it's on the back pallet. And then we stayed out there. And then we came in and we're stacking into the case of the open box top that has wrap on there, but it still emphasizes that slant out. I don't know why, we just didn't keep our line one more, then come in. Nice thick case, come out to the top of the Arizona T, then bring these propels in a little bit. But then we got the propel hanging off the corner. Propels are probably a weak corner, a really weak corner if you have it hanging off. That little bit is all it takes. That little bit right there, and with an extra slant with this case down here and that little bit hanging off, look how it's rocking. And you pick this up and pull it out, that corner has a really good chance of falling. And let's say we built this pallet first and then we build the back pallet. Well, if I have this full pallet on my jack and this is the back corner, oh, I'm finessing the crap out of this. I am going as slow as possible because I'm afraid this is going to fall over. And then I know my line might not be exact, but it's pretty close. Sometimes these pictures, maybe I can move my line over just a little bit, but it's still pretty close. So we need to have imaginary lines all the way up the pallet. And as you can see through here, we got gaps, so we don't have to. And turning cases like this in this part of the pallet is what creates this hangover. If this case would have been facing towards the middle, we would not have had that problem. I tell you guys time and time and time and time again, when you have cases facing towards the middle of the pallet, you have more room to build, and it's giving you a sturdier pallet. All right, right here, see, I like the pallet. We got all of our little cases in the middle. We got big, thick cases on the outside. I don't like this slip sheet right here. There was no need for it, in my opinion, because we have more bags coming. Guys, bags are your best friend whenever you're stacking in the warehouse. You can move the contents around. I've done dog food orders, me selecting the dog food. Go check my playlist on that and watch me select my dog food orders. They are your best friend. And not having the opportunity to be level because you have a slip sheet down, it's not helping. Now, the slip sheet up here, I like. We're done with our bags. We're moving the boxes. We had a few bags left, nothing major, but we moved the boxes and we wanted to make sure that we're not, because this box here would have been dipping down into here if we didn't have the slip sheet. Agree with this slip sheet? I also agree with this slip sheet down here because you're starting off your pallet and you don't want to puncture the bag, so you're going to put your bags on the slip sheet and not the wood, where there could be broken wood or nails. And, with that being said, guys, this one here, like I said, it still turned out to be a good pallet, but in my opinion, this is slowing you down. Now, I want to come all the way through my lines now. If it don't fit, don't force it. And once again, these lines might not be exact, but they are pretty damn close. If it don't fit, don't force it. And down here, guys, this is one of my main reasons. Now, I do want to say I like how you took your big dog food and went the length of the pallet. Never turn these dog foods to width, because you leave it to width and then you got a space this big that you're not going to fit a bag on. All right, and then you start making a fat pallet and your pallet's real wide because you squeeze in a case that where it don't need to be. So always run these big dog foods the length of the pallet and call them stacked just like you did. Now, this is why I hate slip sheets. Because you put a slip sheet down and you totally forget about where your end of your pallet is and you just go off the slip sheet. Pallet stops here, slip sheet is sticking out like this. Well, we're not focused on the pallet anymore. We're just focused on stacking to the end of the slip sheet. And so off the get on row number 1, we have a fat pallet. Now you hung off, or not a fat pallet, a long pallet, because you hung off the back, but you didn't even bring it all the way. It don't even look like it's to the end of the pallet right here. And you could tell because this bag is and this bag isn't. Look how there's a difference. You guys have to utilize the whole entire surface of that piece of wood. Not over and not under. It needs to be right to the perimeter of that wood. And here's a great example of using a slip sheet and remembering their lines. So we're coming up the pallet. We do our juices. We put a slip sheet down. You see these cases to the end of the slip sheet? No, they are in line with the juices, like the slip sheet's not even there. That's how you want to utilize a slip sheet, and that's how you keep your straight lines. All right, guys, once again, by the look of it, you're like, oh, well, great looking pallet. I see a pallet that's ready to fall over. Now, the only thing that's saving us is that we do have some nice tie-ins and we have a nice base. Our first 2 layers are actually really nice. And then we go wrong right here. We go wrong right here. We got a thin paper slip sheet. We got gaps that we don't need. We don't even need to be hanging off. Guys, I promise you, once again, this is slowing you down because this is a very shaky pallet. I guarantee it's a very shaky pallet. You know how much faster you can go if this stuff was all compressed together? I mean, you could be hitting your rabbit with no problem. I'm not hitting my rabbit with this. I'm honestly, if I had a pallet like this, I'd probably stop and throw some wrap around the middle so I can hit my rabbit. But these shaky pallets are all about not keeping your lines. And, we did it again with the slip sheet over here. I just noticed that. We have a slip sheet here, and you did it again. We took this to the end of the slip sheet instead of the end of the case. All right, so focus on that, please. When you use slip sheets, we're not focused on the end of the slip sheet. We're focused where the line is below it. And then we just have too much separation going on here. I mean, there's no need for this row right here. That's what threw everything off. And then this right here, I honestly probably would have bridged it right here to just give this some support because for some reason, this is really weak right here. And then our propel in the corner, once again, it's sticking out. Now you could tell this was already walking off. I guarantee that at one time, this might've been a little bit more snug and then it's walking off. We got cases leaning in. I would have kept cases going back right here. This propel coming in, I would have changed the direction. Remember, guys, when you have two of the same case or two like cases, same height, you want them go in this direction right on top of these. I would have put 4 more cases right on top of this. This is forcing a tie-in, and that is not good. You're building okay. I mean, you're building good. Like the overall, you can tell you're getting the hang of it. But man, do we got to keep our lines. So besides from keeping our lines, a weak corner low on your pallet. I tell you guys, strong bases, waist, thigh high, we need that big time. Once we get that established, that strong base within the confines of the pallet, which they did great with that. So I did this picture on Monday as well, guys, but I wanted to go over it again because I wanted to point out this weak thing. This would slow you down. Now, I would say this is probably the front corner, but imagine that being your back corner. Man, this will go in a heartbeat. I mean, as soon as I hit that throttle, this whole entire thing is just falling over. So it's good that it's our front corner, but this is a weak corner too low. Now, if this was up higher, not that big of a deal because we would have like these nice big boxes here. Guys, you got to remember, just because this stuff comes first does not mean this is what you have to have your final setting on. This stuff would have been in the middle, or when I got the big boxes, I would have just swiped it. Guys, I know you don't want to touch cases twice, but holy cow, does it take seconds for you to make that pallet that much stronger? Imagine just swapping out all 3 of these cases, dropping this whole entire column down, and just stick the cases on top. You don't have nothing to worry about. Back here, we're sticking out a little bit the inside. People have a tendency of rocking out the middle of their pallet, and that is because sometimes they forget the middle of their pallet, and they just toss cases up there, and then they start separating your pallet on the inside. So that big case would have been on the corner. It might be on the corner, but it doesn't look like it. But yeah. But guys, solid corners, especially low on your pallet. All right, here's another one I want to talk about, guys. Yeah, I have touched on all these, but once again, guys, I'm teaching you how to move faster through the warehouse today. And these are I teach these on my channel, but when we see visuals, guys, putting cases into gaps. Now, we got a solid corner. Looks like we have stovetop up on its side. I don't put the stovetop on its side. I always keep you know me, guys. I like keeping cases upright. I don't care what the situation is here. I don't care about being level. I told you guys, I do, but I'm mainly about keeping cases upright and keeping them in a safe position. Now, there are certain cases you could turn on their sides. We got lightweight, so we're probably okay. I still want to do it. I'm all about keeping cases level. This case right here is enough to push over this, believe it or not. When you start, like, we're done now because obviously he separated his pallets. He's getting ready to wrap, but this right here is enough. I don't think we have a slip sheet on this one. Right? No, we don't. This case could fall and push this out and just start rocking everything out. It's amazing what one little case in a gap like that can do. So please do not put your cases in gaps. If you don't have a place to put it, I want to put it there. But it's just, yeah, I mean, we got slip sheets in there, so that's definitely going to help us move a little easier throughout the warehouse. And our lines aren't actually bad on this. So your lines are good. It's just that we got to keep cases out of the gap. All right, guys, this one right here. Now, I know, and I want to say this, I think a lot of these pallets are the same person. I'm not like picking on you. It's just a lot of great examples of what I wanted to talk about today. And you're building really good. And if you're a new selector, you're building extremely well. We have seriously just got to watch our lines. Down here, I love what you did here with the Shasta. Dr. Thunder, you got Shasta in there. You got, big solid cases on the corner, guys. This is exactly how you want to do it. You do have a water up on its side here. Once again, I don't agree with that. It is what it is. You don't have a lot of pressure on it, so it's going to be fine. This Mott's right here, I didn't put your side view on, but you have 2. These waters are the ones that are the mini waters, and they come with double cardboard in the packaging, and they always come in 2s at our warehouse as well. I don't know if you always get 2s, but man, do I always use them for a corner. So this Mott's, I would have got it the hell out of there, and I would have put these 2 waters up here, would have gave me a stronger corner, because when you look from the side, you're really slanting in. This Mott's, the only way I would have kept it on the corners if I had 2 of them. But once again, this is your concept. If we would have put these waters up here, we would have been a little bit higher than these waters. And I just think you're focusing on being level all the time. I'd rather have strong corners in my weak middle instead of being level. Some people get so fixated on being level. And I have videos out being level at all costs. Really, it can really bring down your pallet. I know your pallet's solid. I'm just pointing out some minor things that I would have switched around on this pallet as well. But I mean, you're doing good. just cases on their sides too. So let's say we had weight on that case, it's going to be an issue. But definitely a lot better. If this is the same person, the lines on this pallet are definitely a lot better. All right, now I want to look at a couple of pallets. This is Samuel over in Discord. I got 2 pallets I want to look at that are built correctly. And when you build things correctly, guys, you can move a lot more fluid throughout the warehouse. So even though we had to start with these weak cases, we still did a great job of tying everything in. See how we're bridging, and we keep that pressure right in the middle of there. And that's that whole focus of having cases come in, come in, come in, come in, and then we see how we do it. It's beautifully done. Guys, this is a system. I guarantee there was not too much playing around with this corner. You know what he did? All right, so we had this. Look at our high and low, guys. So if we would have put a long case from here to here, we would have had a slight rock out. We put this case here, put the pie crust there, build up. And I would almost imagine the pie crust and this was here, and we waited patiently for that green case because we know we're either going to get a small yogurt, a skinny yogurt that's probably going to fit in there. We're going to get these butters or whatever they are going to fit in there. You got to be patient and wait for your opportunity. That's why this looks so good. And I guarantee, guys, when new people look at this, they're like, oh, he probably took so much time. No, I guarantee this was very fluent throughout the warehouse. And he knows that he's being patient waiting for his cases. And that's what you got to do, that person that had the case leading in the crack. Don't just shove cases in there to shove them in there. All right, we want to focus on, this is learning your warehouse. Same with this one right here. I guarantee, I know I'm getting these small, skinny cases. Somewhere along the line, I'm going to get one, and I'm going to wait for my opportunity to tie it in. Cheese boxes, you see they're not all spread out all over the pallet. We kept them together. It's just excellent done. I mean, just very nicely done. And I like throwing these up because I want you guys to see nicer pallets where someone has a system. All right, so the last one I'm going to look at is this one right here. Another pallet that, look how nice and perfectly square, solid base. Everything is tied in very nice. Now from here down, guys, since we got a little bit smaller cases, nothing crazy, but I guarantee we focused on this a little bit more than we focused on this. And that's what I preach on this channel. When you take time to build the bottom part of this pallet, which is your base, you're going to fly through it. Now, if you goof this up, you're going to waste so much time trying to build the rest of this pallet. All right, guys, so another great pallet to look at, just beautifully done. And within the area of the warehouse that we're in, what do you notice? All the small cases are in the middle of the pallet, all the big cases are on the corners. And when you focus on those simple things, you're going to build a lot better and a lot faster. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I really appreciate everybody for joining. And like I said, if you guys are new, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any videos. If you have any comments on this, questions or comments on this video, please leave them in the comment section below. Guys, have a good weekend. I will see you next week.